For anyone researching African American ancestry before and after the Civil War, there is one record collection that stands above almost every other source. The records of the Freedmen's Bureau have helped thousands of researchers identify formerly enslaved ancestors, reconnect families separated by slavery, locate parents and children, discover marriages, identify former enslavers, and reconstruct family histories that were once thought impossible to recover. In this episode, we will explore what the Freedmen's Bureau was, why it was created, what records survive today, where to find them, and how genealogists can use those records to break through some of the most difficult research challenges in African American genealogy. One of the greatest challenges in African American genealogy is crossing the divide between the 1870 census and the years of slavery that came before it. The 1870 census was the first federal census to list formerly enslaved individuals by name. Before that time, enslaved people generally appeared only as numbers in slave schedules and property inventories. This creates a major research barrier. The Freedmen's Bureau records often provide the bridge between freedom and slavery, helping researchers connect named individuals after emancipation to earlier records and communities. The organization commonly known as the Freedmen's Bureau was officially called the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands. It was established by Congress in March 1865, near the end of the Civil War. The Bureau's mission was to help formerly enslaved people transition from slavery to freedom. Its responsibilities included distributing aid, supervising labor contracts, supporting schools, resolving disputes, assisting veterans, legalizing marriages, and helping reunite families. Although it operated for only a few years, it generated millions of pages of records that survive today. Many genealogical records tell us where someone lived. The Freedmen's Bureau records often tell us who they were. Researchers may find names of spouses, children, parents, siblings, former enslavers, employers, neighbors, military service details, and migration information. In some cases, these records preserve family relationships that appear nowhere else in the historical record. That is what makes this collection so valuable. The Bureau operated through hundreds of local field offices across the South and parts of the border states. Each office created records reflecting local conditions and local populations. As a result, records vary considerably from one location to another. Researchers should focus on the office serving the county or community where their ancestors lived, rather than searching the collection broadly without a plan. One of the most valuable record groups involves marriages. Many enslaved couples had lived together as husband and wife for years, but were denied legal recognition under slavery. After emancipation, many states and bureau offices registered these existing marriages. Researchers may find names of spouses, dates of cohabitation, children's names, former owners, and other valuable information. These records can provide direct evidence of family relationships. Labor contracts documented agreements between freed people and employers after the Civil War. These records often identify entire family groups working together. Researchers may discover spouses, children, occupations, former plantations, wages, and locations. Because many contracts involve former enslavers and formerly enslaved workers, these records can help connect families to slavery-era records. Perhaps the most emotional records in the collection involve family reunification. Countless families had been separated by sale, migration, and the disruption of slavery. Formerly enslaved people placed notices seeking parents, spouses, children, and siblings. Many of these records preserve deeply personal details about family relationships and life experiences. For genealogists, these records can provide information unavailable anywhere else. Education became a major priority during Reconstruction. The Bureau helped establish thousands of schools for formerly enslaved people. School records may identify students, teachers, communities, attendance figures, and educational activities. These records can help researchers place ancestors within specific communities during the years immediately following emancipation. Many formerly enslaved men served in the United States colored troops during the Civil War. Freedmen's Bureau records often intersect with military service and pension records. Researchers may discover evidence of military service, family relationships, marriages, children, and residence information. Combining these records with pension files can reveal extraordinary details about an ancestor's life. The Bureau also operated hospitals and provided medical assistance. Surviving records may identify patients, family members, ages, illnesses, places of residence, and outcomes. Although often overlooked, these records can provide additional evidence for reconstructing families and communities. Fortunately, many Freedmen's Bureau records are now digitized. Researchers can access records through the National Archives, Family Search, Ancestry, and several dedicated projects focused on African American genealogy. Many collections are indexed, but not all. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from browsing images manually when indexes fail to capture important information. The best strategy begins with identifying where an ancestor lived in 1870. Next, determine which Freedmen's Bureau office served that location. Then systematically search every available record group associated with that office. Rather than looking for a single document, build a timeline that incorporates labor contracts, marriage records, school records, military records, and other sources. Each record adds another piece to the puzzle. Researchers frequently experience major breakthroughs using Freedmen's Bureau records. Many discover maiden names that were previously unknown. Others identify parents, grandparents, former enslavers, migration paths, and extended family networks. Some researchers even discover the plantation where an ancestor lived before emancipation. These records often provide the missing link needed to continue research into the slavery era. The most powerful approach combines documentary evidence with DNA analysis. Freedmen's Bureau records can identify potential family relationships. DNA testing can then help confirm those connections. Together, records and genetic evidence allow researchers to reconstruct families with a level of confidence that would have been impossible only a generation ago. The Freedmen's Bureau records are much more than historical documents. They preserve the lives, struggles, and achievements of people emerging from slavery into freedom. Every name found in these records represents a real person whose story deserves to be remembered. For many families, these records provide the first opportunity to reconnect with ancestors whose identities were nearly erased by history. Now that we understand what the Freedmen's Bureau was and why these records matter, the next step is learning how to use them in real research. In our next episode, we'll walk through actual Freedmen's Bureau records and demonstrate a practical research process that you can apply to your own family history. We'll follow real examples, analyze documents, and show how to extract genealogical evidence from these remarkable records. Thank you for watching episode 4 of Beyond Juneteenth, Tracing Families After Emancipation. The Freedmen's Bureau records represent one of the most important collections available for African American family history research. Their value extends far beyond genealogy because they preserve the stories of individuals, families, and communities navigating freedom after generations of slavery. If you found this episode helpful, please like, subscribe, share, and follow.